Evening, people. It is 17:45, Tuesday the 23rd of September, if you can see it. And I'm at my usual vantage point checking out what Kinder's looking like. So what my plan is, and it was a rushed plan. So basically I've spent 3 hours at the climbing wall today, and I wanted to get camping because it's Tuesday. So I'm off work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I'm back in Friday, Saturday and Sunday. So I like to sort of come out, do a bit of hiking in a camp, and then at least have one good night on my own, so in my own bed, and then wake up to a chilled out day so I can fully recover before I go back to work. So I told you before, I'm an HGV driver, and I don't want to be starting my shifts when I'm tired. So yeah, I'm going to go obviously park in Edale, and then I'm going to walk up to that copse. So just after the little curved wooden bridge, there's I can't remember how far is it, what is it, half a K or something like that. You come to this little wooded copse area, and there's like a steep right that takes you up to the plateau footpath. So I'm going to go up that because it's a quick way to get to the plateau, and then I'm going to shoot over the 7-minute crossing, and I'm just going to assess it from there because sunset's at 7. So from now it's an hour and a quarter, and then I'm just going to see what the light's like. The cloud base is moving that way, and it looks like it's thinning out with what's coming in, so I should get fairly decent light. But depending how I feel, I might go over to Fairbrook Naze. But anyway, I'll catch up with you along the way. See you soon. Okay, it's 20 past 6 now. I've just been filling my water bottles up. So because I'm not going to the Fountain of Youth, in my van I carry a big container full of water from another spring close to where I live. So yeah, I'm going to pretty much be having to get a move on soon. Although it's a beautiful night. We've had 2 really good days. Yesterday was fantastic, and today's been lovely as well, but obviously I've been inside at the climbing wall, haven't I? So yeah, I've been and stopped off at Subway, got myself a 6-inch sub. It's a shame I couldn't make Danny's Deli and get a super sub, but there you go. So yeah, so that's what I've got food wise, and I've got some Snickers and some oat bars, and I'm carrying 2 litres of water from my van, and then I've got another 900ml of a new container with me to top up if I need it, but I don't think I'm going to need it. Right, I'll catch up with you at a later point. Yeah, I've just filled my bottles up at the car park. So I've got a litre on my shoulder straps, and then I've got a litre, 900ml in an ever new water bottle in my bottom pocket of my rucksack. But yeah, it's quite a beautiful night. Let me just show you. We've had, Dr. Paul, we've had 2 lovely days. Yesterday was great, and today too. But I just didn't feel like coming out yesterday. Just wanted to recover from the work shift. Hang on. And get a good session in at the wall today, which I did. So I've ended up doing the 6B 3 times. I did a new 6A 3 times. And the first 6A that was struggling on day 1 I did that twice, and then I did some easy stuff as well, easier. So yeah, I've got a Subway 6-inch thing, Italian spicy something or other, nowhere near as good as my Danny's Deli super sub. So I've got that, a couple of Snickers and a couple of oat bars. So that'll see me through the night. and I'll top it off with one of my twining sleep tees. Look at that. Yeah, it's a bit moody over that side, but it looks as if it's going away. And temperatures are supposed to be going down to 4 degrees tonight, and it says between 8 and 10 mile an hour winds. So I've got the HMG one person DCF tent, and I brought out my new sleeping bag, my Cumulus Xlite 400. So if you've been watching, you'll know that I sold the Quantumn 600. That was an excellent bag, but I found because it only had Pertex Quantumn material on it, then I needed to put my synthetic EE quilt over there, because that does that job of absorbing any condensation and keeps your down bag nice and dry. So this Xlite 400, this hasn't got Pertex Quantumn shell, it's got Pertex Quantumn Pro shell, which is you know, less permeable to water, and it'll save me carrying the EE quilt. So I'm not sure what the EE quilt weighs. I think it's about 300 grams, might be a bit more. I'll have to check on their website. But this Xlite 400, this is going to be my winter bag, and then when the temperatures drop to the point where I think I need a boost, obviously I'll have my down trousers and my jacket, but then I will bring the EE quilt to go over the top of it. But I'm looking forward to using this tonight. Probably going to be too warm for 4 degrees, but I'll just have it unzipped like a quilt. Yeah, and the advantage is with the Xlite 400 is that it's a lot lighter. It's 900 fill power, and it compresses smaller than the Quantumn 600. So yeah, right, I'll give you an update when I get to the start point of the way up. Just while I'm here at this position, so you see this feature there in front there, that's where I'm heading for, and you can just about see some lines there. So that's pretty much the path. So I'll show you when I get to the start point. So here's the famous Grinsbrook Clough arch wooden bridge. So from here I'm going to be taking a right in about, I think it's about 6, maybe 700 metres, I'm not sure, but I'll sort of confirm that when I get to the bottom. Ringing Roger is glowing nicely there as the sun's starting to set. Yeah, just one last time so I can see that path better now from here. So can you see it? It just goes up there. So it'll just finish at the right of the peak of the feature that we can see in front of us. Okay, so this is the first stream after we've crossed the wooden arch bridge, and this is the copse of trees. So when you get to that entry there, then we do a right or easterly, northeasterly-ish direction, and that's the sort of short, sharp way to the top of Kinder. So I'm just going to enjoy this, get my lungs and my legs working, and I'll, if I don't see you when I get to the top of this, I'll see you when I'm at the point where I'm putting my tent up. See you in a bit. Okay, the hard work's over now. It's just coming up to 7:10, so that's it took me about 22 minutes to get here. I've not been rushing it, it's just how it is. So the sun has set. Looking through this camera looks a lot lighter than it actually is now. But the hard work's over, so you get a good pump on your legs and your calves doing that. There's parts of it that are that steep that you have to walk on the balls of your feet, but that's what you want, don't you, when you're just out on a training hike to maintain your fitness levels that you built up over the summer. There's no point in leaving it too long and then losing that. It's a funny thing though, you know, as you get old, you know, you see loads of YouTube videos and it's always young people teaching old people how to stay fit, and then you get the odd one who's like a full-time YouTuber, probably spends all his life popping supplements, and when he's not making YouTube videos he's probably in bed recovering, but then they do these little running around things showing you how fit they are. But what I was going to say was, today I get up in the morning. This is the life of a 60-plus-year-old man. Get up, do some stretching, lunges, all sorts of weird yoga moves. I don't know what the names of them are. And then I go and have a hot shower, and then I'm fully mobile. Then I went to the gym, the climbing gym, warmed up there, did pretty much similar sort of stretches, and then just a quick one. This is the footpath, and we're going that way. Yeah, and then do stretches there to get me warmed up for, you know, 3 hours of climbing. So do me stretching, do a little bit of light finger training on the Beastmaster fingerboard. Then start off on a couple of easy routes, then build them up until I did 3 laps on that 6B. Then I did some easy ones to sort of warm down. Then back up to the Beastmaster fingerboard for more strength training on my fingers, followed by stretching. Then I go home, get showered and changed, and then I come here. And then when I get out of my car in Edel car park, I feel like I've aged about 12 million years. Well, these older YouTube influencers never show you that bit, do they? They always want to show you that they look like they've been oiled with 4 cans of WD-40. But yeah, maybe they are, I don't know. Maybe it's just me who's stiff. But yeah, so get out of the car park, I have to do a bit of stretching there. Then I start walking. And then once I get to that first bridge, once you've got through Edel village, I do a few high step stretches where I put my foot on the cross members of that handrail that's either side of the bridge, and then I stretch out my what's it called now in your glutes, forget the name of the muscle now, piriformis, yeah. So I get that stretched again, and then I'm alright, and then I'm blasting my way up what I've just done there. So right, I'm going to put you away because I've got to negotiate this, and I can't do it with one hand, so see you when I'm pitching the tent. Okay, I'm at Sealstones now, but a beautiful white owl has just flown past me. Ah, there it is, it's taking off again. Don't know if you can see it. I was going to try and get close to it, but it's obviously heard me and flown away. So yeah, this camera's great, honestly. It's quite dark here now. So I've decided that I'm going to go to my usual pitch on seal stones. Yeah, I've got 2 head torches with me, but there's no point in pushing it, is there? My daughter and her family are away, and I've got this emergency thing on my phone, but they're in Spain at the moment, and I'm sure they'll be full of sangria or whatever they drink by this time. So if I twist my ankle, I'm not going to get much of a response, am I? So yeah, I'll look for a place to pitch my tent just beyond them boulders over there. So I've left a nice gap underneath, obviously because I'm in my warm sleeping bag, aren't I? So get a nice bit of airflow. It's a decent pitch. Gentle breeze going on at the moment. That'll do for me. Okay, I'm in my tent now. Got all my stuff sorted. I've got my my Subway, what's it called? Spicy Italian or something like that, 6-inch sub. So I'm going to eat that. Put a brew on, have a sleep tea, and then just get my head down. I'll show you around my gear in the morning. What time are we on? What's going on with my head torch here? Oh, I've not. Just bear with me a minute. Yeah, 25 minutes past 8. So yeah, I'll look round the tent in the morning, I'll look round my setup. But yeah, I'm in my nice new Cumulus Xlite 400. This is luxury, this. The 900 fill. Yeah, so I'm just going to put a brew on now and have my sleep tea. And then eat my sub. And get an early night. So, I don't know if you could hear that earlier on, but when I was pitching my tent, the Mighty Rescue helicopter was out. And it looks like it was over towards, I'd say, Bleaklow area, not quite Bleaklow, but in sort of in between Snake, is it called Snake Wood? Where the woods are off Snake Pass. In between there and Bleaklow. But it had its searchlight on. It seemed to sort of like hover in one place for a little bit. Then it shot off and then it came back. But I'll have a Google tomorrow and try and find out what's happened. But hopefully, if they've been out looking for somebody, they found them and they're uninjured. Yeah, so I'm having my twining sleep tea. My Subway spicy Italian. And I've got a couple of these oat bite things as well. And that'll be me. I should get a good sleep as well because I've done a fair bit of exercise today at the climbing wall and then this hike up here too. So, oh by the way, this is my new radio. Like I say, got out of eBay, it's just called radio, but the volume's fantastic on it. I'm not into all these like Bluetooth earphones and stuff like that. But yeah, this is a great piece of kit. It weighs hardly anything. So yeah, I'm out on my Nemo Tensor All Seasons mat. And with the setup I've got tonight, it weighed exactly 6 kilos, well, 0.2, 20 grams more than 6 kilos. But yeah, I mean, with what I've got, I've not got the Cumulus mount light jacket, I've still got the inverse on. But with this bag and this mat, I could go down well below 0. I don't know if you can see, but 4 degrees here now. So I'm going to be nice and toasty anyway. But if I was to sort of swap out the tent, bring the mount light instead of this inverse and my rab jackets, I'd be down to easily comfortable to in minus 10 to 15 with about a 7.5, maybe 8 kilo setup. So yeah, we'll talk a bit more about that as the temperatures drop, won't we? Right, where's my tea bag? Right, if anything exciting happens, I'll let you know. Other than that, I'm not going to put you through watching me eat a sloppy sandwich. So, I'm going to say good night to you now. And I'll see you in the morning. So good night and God bless. Morning. It is 7:10 and I've woke up to the famous Kinderklag. Just show you. Not much going on out there, is there? Well, I must have got off at about 9ish last night, and then at 2:15 I woke up for a pee with my head torch on, and it was literally, I couldn't see my guy lines. The clag was that thick. On a positive note, this sleeping bag has worked like a superstar. So twice I've used them in minky cloth. By the way, if you don't know what these are, go to Asda, the M cloth, minky cloth, most absorbent cloth I've come across. But I've wiped the inside out because, as I expected, single skin tent, once the clag's in, you could get loads of condensation, and I've squeezed that out twice, but bone dry now. You can hear it, can't you? And the good thing is the technology in my sleeping bag has worked, because if you look at my foot and there, so the top, this is what's good about that Quantumn Pertex Pro. So if that had been the Quantumn Pertex, which you get most of the wrap coats and sleeping bags, that would have had it'd have been wet, without a doubt. So yeah, so that's why I sold the Panyam in favour of getting another bag which would be lighter, have a higher fill power, and I wanted this Quantumn Pro material. But this was pure luxury. I did get a bit too warm at one stage, and I just sort of unzipped it and flapped it about a bit to get some of the heat out. But yeah, this is going to be a great winter bag. This combined with one of my EE quilts. But I was thinking last night, about a month ago on eBay, I come across a PhD, they're called pied elephants. It's like a 3/4 length sleeping bag, and it's kind of got like just a material extension. They're made for, like, you know, these ultra marathons and, you know, desert races and stuff like that. But I managed to get one for 250 quid off eBay, and they're about a £400 bag. Again, it's a 1,000 fill that. So I could use that if I wanted to boost this one. I could use that on the inside of this, and then I'd have the benefit of this 900 fill bag plus the Quantumn Pertex Quantumn Pro outer. So yeah, so this is the Pertex Quantumn Pro outer. So now at the moment I'm down to these three bags. So I've got me Xlite 300, and that's 65-35 fill. So 35% on the bottom and 65 on the top. But this is like their standard option fill. This one's 45-55, but I asked for an extra 50 grams of the 900 fill goose down to be put into this, but you can really feel that extra down. So I've got extra 10 centimetres in girth, and it just lofts so quick. But yeah, it's like the most luxurious sleeping bag I've got now. So yeah, so the Xlite 400 with the extra 50 grams, the Xlite 300, and then that PhD, and that's it then. And then I've got my two Enlightened Equipment Enlightened Equipment quilts. I was going to call them over quilts. The the quilts basically, but I've been using them as over quilts. Because again, on the Xlite 300, because that's just got the Pertex Quantumn fabric as the outer shell, it'd be useful to put on one of them. So yeah, so that's me done now for bags. Just another thing, I bought one of them Alpenblow mat pumps, and I weren't massively impressed with it. Yeah, it's lighter than the Flextail Zero one that's very popular now, which I've got. It didn't really do a fantastic job of blowing it up. I had to put a few extra mouthfuls in, but I've just gone back to my pump sack. So with me now, I've got this, here we go, my X-Bed, my schnozzle pump. This is a medium size. So the X-Bed pump sack, that fits the nozzles on the Nemo tensor range, and it only takes 3 of these to fully inflate your mat. So I just thought I'm going to use a bag liner. So normally I use one of the Nilo flume ones. The X-Bed schnozzles a little bit heavier than a Nilo flume bag, but I'm just figuring that, well, I'm going to use a pack liner anyway, and that's more durable than the Nilo flumes, and I might as well just dispense with bringing a pump altogether, because who's in such a hurry where you can't even have time to, you know, put three bags of air in. So yeah, so that's it now. So it's another item I don't need in it. Anytime I think I don't need an item, it's gone. So another thing about that you don't need, and I mentioned on another YouTuber's video last week, he was talking about he couldn't. He was trying to pitch his tent in windy conditions, and he was saying that, you know, he didn't have a carabiner. You don't need a carabiner. You can use your sternum strap or your hip belt. Just clip that through one of the loops on your guy line, or just tie your guy line to one of them loops. I don't know of any pack these days that hasn't got some sort of sternum strap or hip belt, unless you've actually opted for not having one. So yeah, you don't need carabiners. And another new item I forgot to mention, I meant to mention this last time I was out, but I've bought a set of these Big Sky pegs, and the reason I bought them is, if you look, they're not like the Easterns. The thread goes through the actual grommet, so I'm imagining that this top bit has got like a ferrule that goes inside the peg, and then the holes drilled right through them, because I've had a few Easterns tips come off, and it's not good, is it, when you consider how much they cost? But I think these Big Sky, I think they're about a gram lighter, or is it a gram heavier? I forgot now. But yeah, it just means that I can hit them with a rock if I need to. So yeah, and because we've had a lot of rain prior to these last couple of days, this time I've come out in my Dynafit shoes that are the Gore-Tex version. So they're exactly the same as the blue ones, obviously same sole and everything. It's just that these have got a Gore-Tex lining. But yeah, I thought I'd bring them because I was expecting the terrain to be soaked, and it wasn't. Surprisingly, it was quite firm underfoot. But that's it really. Yeah, so I've mentioned the Alpenblow, which will be going on eBay. Them pegs, the Big Sky pegs, and I mentioned my radio, didn't I? Yeah, so that radio was only like £8, and I said last night, I'm not into Bluetooth earphones and stuff. The more I can get away from technology that I believe is harmful anyway, or any technology that I don't really need, I'll get rid of it. But yeah, I'd rather have wired earphones, because mobile phones used to say, you know, when you got mobile phones and you read the instructions, they actually used to say don't put them next to your ear and use the wired earphones. But my phone now, my S22, hasn't got a socket for earphones anyway. So yeah, I know you can load apps onto your phone and listen to your radio on your phone, but I'd just rather have a separate one. But that's it really. So I'm going to make a brew. Just pick you up a bit. Yeah, I'm going to make a brew, and then I don't know. I might even have a line actually, because I'm not going to disturb anybody by me being here, am I? And just all goes to help in that recovery process, doesn't it? So yeah, I'll make myself a brew, and then I'm just going to go down the way I came up, and then before I go home, I'm going to go to the climbing wall and use the beast maker and just do a bit more strength training on my fingers, and then I'll spend the rest of the day doing sod all apart from relaxing and eating. So, yeah, so before my accident, you know, I was younger then. I used to, when I was climbing on a regular basis, I used to do 1 day on, 1 day off, 1 day on. No, it wasn't. It was 2 days on, 1 day off, 2 days on, 2 days off. That was it. That was my routine when I was climbing, you know, and pretty much on a really regular basis. But yeah, I'm just going to do 2 days a week now. I'm going to try and do Monday and Tuesday. I know today's Tuesday. Today's Wednesday. I know I did Tuesday yesterday, but I'm just going to try and stick to them 2 days. Obviously, if the weather's horrendous and I'm off work and there's no option for doing anything else, I'll just go to the indoor climbing wall and make use of that. Right, what we're having for drink. So I've got chocolate soup. I'm not having soup. Choco Mocha. Nescafe Choco Mocha. And my gorgeous Earl Grey. Oh man. Oh, that's great that. I'm going to have one of them. And then see how my body feels. See if it wants another kip. There's no signs of this breaking up. Yeah, so the forecast, surprise, surprise, is wrong again. It's supposed to be sunny. Not much sun out there at the moment. Right. Let's get this brew on. See you in a minute. Hello again. I'm just putting an ending to this video. So you would have just watched that time lapse, and basically my camera ran out of power, and the reason was because when I was filming from just before I pitched my tent. From then onwards, I left it on that night vision, what do you call it, option. And basically it used all the power. And I didn't bring my Nightcore power bank with me, so basically I couldn't recharge it. And it's a shame really as well, because when from being in really thick clag to then me setting the time lapse and then watching that clag clear, it would have been an amazing what's it called, inversion. But obviously, even before the time lapse finished, it had run out of power. But yeah, it was quite a magical experience really, because when that cleared, it ended up being a beautiful day. And what was funny was there was 12 Liberty caps that had grown overnight in the vestibule of my tent. And then when I got out to strike camp and pack my tent away, I looked behind me and there must have been like 50 sheep, and I'd not heard a squeak out of them at all. But it was almost like they was mesmerised by the effect of the sun breaking through. And I'm just wondering, have they at these, some of these Liberty caps, because they was all over the place. And, they do say, don't they, that animals, get have the highs as well. I mean, squirrels do, don't they? They eat fruit that's fallen off trees, and that gives them a kind of like a drunken sensation. So anyway, yeah, I'm just putting an end to it and explaining why it finished where it finished. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I know they're like pound shop quality standard, my videos, but I can't do the editing. I've tried a couple of times to see if I can, and I've ended up losing footage. So it's just going to be raw cut. That's just my style in it. It is what it is, and I don't have any script to go by. I just wing it. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't, do you? So anyway, thank you anyway for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. All the best. Take care. God bless.